Yes, so the second match today, there is gonna be basically some kind of expert, more or less exhibition or something like that. It's gonna be between Magyar and Spoink. This match has been played on 21st October 2009, so what is it, 8.5 years ago, something like that. And it's gonna be an eggy war between ISIS and Ra, with Magyar playing Ra and Spoink playing ISIS. This is not really Spoink as a Smurf that was basically used by Temista like half a year ago or something like that. This is the real Spoink, the real deal, who was basically the toppest vanilla expert back then, around the year 2009, really high skiller. And Magyar, well, that was kind of one of his prime years in there, and he was playing so well indeed that he could be, of course, playing nice games against the toppest experts as well, because he was one of them. So this is gonna be played on Savannah. I think in that all the games are actually on Savannah, if I remember correctly. It was a trio of games. So let's see how they're gonna be playing, because from the descriptions that I could have gleaned, that this should be a fairly amusing and entertaining trio of games. So let's start. And I have absolutely no idea what to expect. You can see right off the bat, Magyar is gonna be coming for a monument, and then of course gonna be continuing for the granary. So yeah, he just wants as many, or rather as much favor from the start as possible. Okay, you can have seen already from the very start that he was really quite efficient with basically absolutely no idle time in there. Quite nice hotkeys and whatever, as he was going to be scouting for the backside to see what actually hand he's having. You can see right now discovering one of the rhinos. Gonna be helping him, and the very back TC. That's actually a hell of a back TC for, well, not really just Ra, for any Egyptian. That's gonna be helping overall quite significantly.
In wedge.
So you're gonna be following him for a bit longer, as he discovers even the third TC in here. Oh well. Oh well, he's having TCs very close by, and this is not good news, not very good news for Spoink, because of course this means that Ra doesn't really need to leave his home all that much. Right now all he needs to discover is basically hunt, or rather, no, not sorry, hunt. You can see even husbandry already been researched for him. He didn't even go for a hunting dogs at this point, right? Yeah, he didn't. Okay, so since he didn't see enough hunt, he basically saw only the one rhino. He decided the husbandry is gonna be better, which is something that you basically wouldn't see at all today on a balanced patch or basically in Titans. Nobody would just do that. Everybody would be coming for the hunting dogs, and right now you might be kinda regretting the decision. Looking at all those giraffes, and especially since he's playing against an Egyptian, even extra rhino in there, he definitely could be gathering from them. Yeah, let's see if he's gonna be switching there soon, or if he's not gonna be doing anything like that. In the meantime, let's switch into Spoink, another expert in this game, who is, well, apparently abandoning already the chickens, as he was able to discover one of the rhinos as well. He's apparently gonna be having the giraffes in here also. Let's just cheat a bit. Oh, that's gonna be just one giraffe for him. But still, it's right next to a granary, so why not? It's gonna be helping him, and he's having husbandry or not. No, he's actually having hunting dogs. So this is gonna be Egyptian hunting dogs versus husbandry. Interesting. Interesting indeed, as overall he has already scouted plenty. Here you can see already the giraffes at the backside in there, and otherwise plenty of gold, but so far it seems like that he hasn't discovered the extra TCs. Let's check if he has one at the back. Yeah, they're gonna be absolutely the same for both players, so nobody can be claiming any kind of disadvantage of the map. But what is very interesting and very important for the game is that basically both gold mines, or other gold mines for both sides, are in the front, and both Egyptians will have to fight for them. They don't have any kind of safe gold behind the TC or whatever nonsense. So we should be seeing quite an aggressive gameplay from them in the middle game. Not really in the early one. That's not something we would be expecting from them. It's probably gonna be faster heroic from both. But from there on, it could be kind of significantly diverging. Okay, so relics in the meantime, that's gonna be Harmonious Necklace 4. Oh, better village gold get 8. In an eggy war, that could be a decisive factor. Then definitely can be, as Animal Hephaestus for char or rather cheaper armory researches, that's not half bad either. That could be also quite significantly helping. Okay, so still chickens being used by, of course, Magyar. He's gonna be having plenty of extra food on the coast because of the very early husbandry. And it's gonna be helping him, but are there any free goats left, or have they already discovered everything? It almost seems that they have. There's of course gonna be so much hunt for both of these players. But I'm really curious how actually Magyar is gonna be playing this. I'm gonna be switching into him. Because since he doesn't have hunting dogs, he just could be coming for something a bit different. than what we would be expecting, basically placing himself in the middle. Because against an ISIS that's gonna be like fast heroic about 730, I guess why not? He can definitely afford to go for this hunt. It's not gonna be any kind of issue for him. But since he's not even coming, he's not even coming for the Rhino. He's not even coming for the Rhino, and right off the bat, going for the goats. This is really good. This is next level of efficiency school. Already coming for the farms in here in the archaic age at about 4 minutes. That's of course gonna be nice gameplay for him, and already going for the temples. So fairly interesting game so far, as we see absolutely totally different start. One going for hunting dogs, and that's Spoink, and Magyar, well, kind of forced into husbandry because he just didn't scout his food fast enough. Okay, so he's coming into the middle, which definitely makes sense, yet again for the same reason as Magyar could have been going for the hunt in the middle. Because he's against an Egyptian, so he cannot expect, or rather cannot, he can expect that his opponent is not gonna be attacking all that soon. So he has all the time in the world to go where he wants. As yeah, well, the farms are just going everywhere. And we're gonna be expecting the rain in some kind of reasonable timing. How's it looking with, for example, blow? Still not coming. Is it actually available in the first stage? So that, yeah, I was kind of for a moment thinking that it's actually classical age thing. And this is kind of interesting stuff, even in the first match that I was casting today. And there are situations where you are actually expecting, or rather not sure, if something is actually possible in the archaic age, because it's just basically not done. It's such a rare situation that you don't see it, and it's something that you basically don't expect all that much to be encountering, and so you don't know if it's being used or not. But, well, there are of course gonna be plenty of you who do know, even without having to look there. As we are right now gonna be producing a few more villages as Magyar at about 5.5 minutes. He's gonna be having plenty of food right now, even without the rain. That's gonna be 4. And he's probably waiting for the rain to actually use it once he has bust. And once he has the plow. Yeah, he doesn't really want to jump the gun yet, because he wouldn't be getting all that much of an advantage just now. As apparently good scouting is going on by Spoink. And considering that, actually there's absolutely no scouting by Magyar. Yeah, you can see how much he has scouted. He has scouted basically this corner of the map. He has discovered 2 TCs, he has discovered extra Han, he has discovered the closest gold, so he needs, or rather he kind of knows what he needs to do next at this point, and that's all he needs to know. And he's gonna be continuing with this game, coming for his bust and waiting for the rain to advance into heroic age, of course. Already at 6 minutes, as Spoink is advancing just now. He's already gonna be advancing quite a bit faster, it seems like, than Magyar. You can see the difference in the scouting. Basically, Spoink had discovered almost everything else than Magyar. Basically, quite the opposite. Magyar not scouting at all, whereas Spoink is seeing how the map looks in its entirety, and he's probably right now thinking, or rather he's knowing, that the 30C is behind, and he doesn't even need to scout that. He just knows that it's there because it's nowhere else. Still plenty of hunt for him left, everywhere across the map, as the rain is right now being used for Magyar, as he's even casting it sooner than he's actually having the plow. That's interesting. He's not having Sacred Cats yet, so he's not going for that kind of upgrade. Yeah, but he basically wants to advance as soon as possible, and even basically like half-time of the plow is gonna be enough for him. It's really kind of interesting that he is casting it at this point, but maybe he actually wants to also slow down Spoink on Prosperity. Yeah, yeah, that's gonna be it. Okay, that's gonna be the reason why he's actually casting the rain sooner than he was having the plow. That's gonna be actually stopping Prosperity. And you can see Spoink having like 0 gold and advancing into heroic age. This is such a nice little play. Such a nice little play, and thinking ahead. Oh well. Basically weighing what's gonna be a bit more important for him. Having more food for him from upgrades, or slowing his opponent down and making him basically making it impossible for him to build Migdol and Townsend at the same time. This is really nice. Really nice indeed. And well, Prosperity being cast after basically advance. This is so well done. Okay, so it's gonna be Migdol somewhere about here. Next to gold, I'm thinking, because that seems like a natural spot. Either this gold or this gold. I would be placing the Migdol. And I would be totally wrong. Well, this Sphinx is gonna be dying, of course, because of all the priests that have been built in the meantime, and of course the Pharaoh as well. And apparently wants to be kinda safe. That's, to be honest, a lot of respect. Or rather, a lot of respect to Magyar. Because otherwise, I'm really thinking this could have been slightly better for overall map control. But yeah, he doesn't want so, or rather doesn't want to do so all that much. As Heroic Age is hitting for Magyar as well, through Sekhmet. So no Hathor, yeah, so you see that, this is Sekhmet. And we're of course gonna be looking at the Migdol Stronghold being in there. Still just the one monument, and apparently we won't be seeing any kind of scarabs or whatnot so far. Well, we see basically just one monument, so I'm kinda thinking he shouldn't be having enough for all that many of them. Yeah, basically just for one. So that is not gonna be all that many scarabs. He could be producing a few of them, but not really anytime soon. So far it's gonna be producing fairly standard units. These are gonna be some chariot archers and then a few, of course, siege towers, which are gonna be helping. But the army is already on his doorstep, but it shouldn't be really anything all that major. Unless a few more camels are gonna be actually joining into the battlefield. You can see already one siege tower being prepared by the Egyptian on the left side, because both are Egyptians, so that's not a good actually definition of the players. But so far we really see that Magyar, he practically hasn't left his base. We are at 9.5 minutes and he practically hasn't left his base yet. He has scouted a bit by one of... That was probably by the Sphinx. Yeah, that was the Sphinx. Going all the way across. That was actually made by him. We are not in Titan, so it wasn't the free one. As there are a few lions apparently dealing with some villages. Yep. They are. But yeah, the army is still growing quite strong, and even some elephants. So basically everything that he can make from the Migdol is being made at this point. It's gonna be chariot, camel, and an elephant. So that basically his opponent is having the hardest time figuring out what to do. But he's already switching as well into some camels. So chariot, archers, and camels. That's gonna be the combination in here. As ancestors are coming into play. Unfortunately, we don't really see all that many priests. You can see just two empowering. And the Pharaoh, but still that could be helping quite significantly, as you're probably gonna be seeing a switch into some kind of more priests. So far we don't see that all that much, as Magyar is probably thinking that this is gonna be more or less fine, as the Sphinx is gonna be enough to get rid of the siege tower, or is it? Oh well, it did enough damage, so this one is gonna be kinda toast. But the second one is of course gonna be quite a bigger problem right now. Oh, surprise. He's even gonna be having a bit more siege towers in there hidden, actually dealing with this one siege tower, but still this Migdol seems kinda toasted, to be honest. It's gonna be kinda hard to even repair, especially if there's not gonna be any kind of empowerment. But yeah, the economy is definitely right now quite hard for Magyar, as he does have plenty of idols, and they are even spending extra resources trying to repair quite desperately the Migdol stronghold, which is... I'm thinking should be dying. Oh, come on, the siege tower Spoink. Yeah, right now recognizing what he can do, what he cannot do. As the elephant is not enough, but the siege tower would be. And he needs to get somehow through, so that's gonna be goodbye this one. Oh, one more extra hit. Surviving with 6 hit points at this point. But the elephant is right now dead, and that means that the villagers will be able to keep the Migdol alive. So this is very nicely done by Magyar, nicely judged. He knew exactly what he was doing at this point. And is there something else going on across the map? I don't really see anything, just basically full-on control right now by Spoink. And hoping to push into Magyar as much as possible, but you can see, Magyar is out of gold. He's out of gold and he doesn't have secondary gold. The closest gold is on the bottom. He cannot go into the middle, he cannot go into top middle. So this is his next gold mine, and what is actually Magyar gonna do now? Because he's really out of everything. Yeah, basically being out of gold for Egyptian is out of everything. So right now getting a few of those resources, but he does have market, so he potentially can sell food or wood to get something extra for himself. But he seems to be right now aiming for the gold at the top, which is slightly surprising, but it's at the same time kind of efficient, because even though you could be thinking that the gold at the bottom is safer, the one at the top is much closer to the base and much closer to the Migdol and a world mercenaries potentially as well. So that's the reason that he's going in there, because he thinks that he's gonna be having slightly better fight if he needs to. Yeah, apparently it's exactly gonna be right now needed. So plenty of chariot archers of course being present. Are there some kind of upgrades? I wouldn't expect. Yeah, there are no upgrades yet. No upgrades yet so far. As of course these villagers are right now doing what they can to gather at least a bit of gold for themselves. As of course Magyar so far being on the back foot. As we're gonna be switching for a moment into Spoink to look at his economy, which seems to be, well, kinda not that different from Magyar. But on the other hand, he is the one pushing, so of course there's that. And this was actually a very nice little play in that Spoink was a whole lot more interested in actually putting down the mining camp rather than the villagers. He just didn't care about the villagers all that much. He just needed to get rid of the mining camp, because without the mining camp the villagers couldn't deposit the gold. That's yet again quite little play, quite nice little play in there. That is very important if you think about it, but not everybody will be thinking about that. So that's nice. The battle seems to be more or less kind of equalish, or going for Magyar ever so slightly. But of course Magyar is still on the back foot. He's having really significant issues with his economy at this point. But looking for example at the upgrades and the second DC also coming up for Spoink, he should be expecting that Spoink might be getting even upper hand quite soon. You can see shaft mine and otherwise no extra upgrades. For the opponent, for Magyar, we are at already having Boso with the shaft mine as well. And the plow still, so he's not even having the second upgrade for the farms. It's kind of unfortunate at this point, because that could be helping him produce extra food that he could be selling on the market, which is something that he might really want to do. But since Magyar is gonna be pushing forward, this is really nicely handled, engaged by him. As at the start it looked all kinds of interesting and very well going for Spoink, but it's definitely not gonna be any kind of easy game for him. So that's what happens in a game of top experts. That even though you might be thinking that one of them is already inching towards victory, it's not a done deal until he is resigned. It's really not a done deal until then at all. So gold seems to be more or less secure right now for Magyar, as Spoink is going up on the gold, but he's missing food. So has he kind of mismanaged his eco a bit? Switching into farms, still probably on hunt quite heavily somewhere. A lot of gold for him. A hunt in there. He's kind of really missing the food in there. As he's maybe overextending on the gold economy. Maybe could be doing a bit better in that department, but still overall he's spending plenty of resources, not having any kind of major surplus. So not any kind of huge mistake or anything. Maybe it's not even a mistake at all. Magyar also still quite efficient. You can see at about 200 of all of it, just a bit more extra wood right now. That may be coming down as soon as he clicks in a few siege towers and chariot archers. Still Spoink is trying to apply some kind of pressure. And we're probably right now gonna be waiting into rather for Mythical Age, because I'm thinking that in Heroic Age this game is not gonna be decided. They seem to be really at pretty much the same spot, but at the same time the situation is gonna be getting harder for Magyar the longer he doesn't have the second TC. So I would most certainly like for him to grab that as soon as possible, but he kinda needs the gold for that first. You can see the amount of villages is growing with the Pharaoh empowering, and I'm kind of thinking at this point he's not gonna be coming for DC, but trying to drop the Migdol to protect the gold. That seems like a reasonable proposition, because he needs to do something else than just fight in the middle. He needs to somehow slow down the economy of his opponent, because otherwise it's just gonna be getting out of hand for him. And it already kind of is. You can see Magyar being second on the points by about 300. That's already quite a good disadvantage for him. And good advantage for Spoink. You can see those odd mythic units. That's kind of fun. It's really kind of fun to see that they're basically using all the opportunities and all the resources they're having. And if they're having some spare favor, they're just gonna be using it for some kind of mythical unit, because it's gonna be throwing the opponent off guild. They don't really have any kind of huge amount of priests, either of them. As apparently right now Citadel is coming up, and oh, here we go, exactly what I was talking about. It's gonna be one scarab. And once he gets enough food, they cost food, right? Yeah, I'm not having any hallucinations, they do cost food. Once he has enough food, that's gonna be a second one. And yet again, those are probably gonna be game changers in this game, because he's having literally one priest. Literally one priest and Pharaoh. And then where he is somewhere on the other side of the map, he's right now having 45 TC, coming for a third one. So yeah, that's gonna be an advantage for him for at least a moment, as Magyar is at second TC just now as well. But Magyar is definitely right now pushing forward, and this dude with 670 hit points is gonna be a big problem. A big problem right now for Spoink, so let's see how he deals with that. Come on, give me second. Give me second. 300 food, but he's having bit problems gathering that. Because of course he needs to produce still some kind of units, like for example villagers, as he's apparently not making any camels or whatever. As he's having right now heavy chariots. Heavy chariots, as his opponent is having them as well, but otherwise we don't see any extra upgrades. So still quite fair and equal battle. He's also having right now bone bow for better range, as of course gonna be helping him quite significantly. As Red Pharaoh is dead, that's Magyar's, and the one priest, well, it's gonna be up to him to get rid of the Scarab, at least for the time being. The Scarab is gonna be working as some kind of tank, I'm thinking at this point. That's probably gonna be his deal. Those battles between those siege towers. It's like going on all the time in here. Siege towers battling against siege towers. And let's switch into Spoink, because his economy is probably gonna be going through the roof very soon. He's having quite plenty of gold at this point, but not really enough food, so I'm kind of thinking he might be wanting to invest into plenty more farms at this point, as the mythical age is not that far away from him. Not that far away from him at all. As exactly, the Scarab, you can see what kind of difference he's actually making. And finally, there's gonna be another mythical unit coming up for Spoink, and the Scorpion Men might be leveling the field at least a bit. Scorpion Men are not that bad, but they are kind of better against melee units, like horses and maybe even the camels. Chariot archers could potentially single him out, and that's exactly what they're doing, of course. As he's not having all that many hit points. Well, all that many, he's still having 500, or what was it, the number in that. As the Scarab, 670, a whole lot better. And it's exactly what is allowing Magyar to actually push forward in here. Okay, the Citadel Center, what was it actually made for? 4 extra pop limit? Yes. Yes, I was kind of thinking for a moment in that, what was it actually cast for? Because you can potentially cast it for something a bit better in some kind of tactical position later, if you maybe steal a TC from your opponent or whatever. But he needed the extra population limit without the extra TC, and that's also one of the reasons why he was able to hold off Spoink at 2 TCs at that time. Right now he's doing a pretty good job pushing forward against 3 TCs. So far we don't see any extra upgrades from the armory. Oh, we actually do! We actually do from Spoink. So that might be one of the turning moments again, because that is gonna be making difference against all of those chariot archers. But so far it doesn't seem to be really working all that much. Even the elephants are not really living long enough against all the dudes behind the horses. As the 3rd TC has been just finished for Magyar, and the population limit is right now gonna be better for him because of the Citadel. So Magyar not really going into the mythical age at all, with Spoink also not going there. Interestingly enough, he is still in pretty much the same situation as Magyar, but he's having nice upgrades. You can see that he's basically not caring about the wood at all, which is kind of interesting, because he's making plenty of siege towers and chariots. So you would be expecting that bowsaw would be a very good upgrade for him. Well, apparently doesn't think so at this point, but farms nicely upgraded, gold as well, and oh, not for Magyar we are, interestingly enough, still at the same upgrade as we were about, maybe even about 7-8 minutes ago. That's slightly surprising, but he is really having such an efficient economy at this point that he probably doesn't have even the spare resources to go for the upgrades, and he kinda is deciding that he doesn't need them, that his production capabilities are good enough. The Scarab is dead, and is there a replacement coming up? Somewhere. Don't think so, doesn't see it, rather don't see it. Don't see it yet, as the Pharaoh has been, well, resurrected or something, apparently. And of course, this battle is getting ever so closer. It's not really any kind of huge push, but it's basically inch by inch, getting closer to the Migdol of his opponent and this secondary Migdol. Oh well, that's very important. Does actually Magyar see it? Or does he have an opportunity to see it? Yes, he does. So I'm kind of surprised that he actually hasn't noticed yet. Basically just send about 3-4 in there. You might be having a bit more problems handling the situation in the middle, but it's definitely gonna be worth it, because at this point, this is a big problem. This is a big problem, and Magyar is maybe a bit more consumed by the battle and micro in here than he kinda should have been, because yeah, this is gonna be an issue for him. Those 2 Migdols, the better production capabilities than he is having, because he's still having just 1 Migdol for himself. The second not even going anywhere. He's having just second siege works. Yeah, well, that's just not gonna be making it and cutting it. He's also running out of gold in here, so he will need secondary gold mine, which is gonna be probably this one. I would be guessing, because it seems to be fairly safe for him. Fairly safe for him in there. Otherwise, you can see he basically hasn't left his half of the map. he hasn't left his half of the map for the whole 21 minutes, taking things slowly. But he's also right now being pushed back, and that's gonna be because of the stronger economy of Spoink. And right now also having the secondary Migdol. That is gonna be quite a huge help indeed. As Magyar could be affording secondary Migdol at this point. 155. 155. Oh, he doesn't have, yeah. He doesn't have 45 TC, that's the reason. I was kind of surprised that he's not at 160, but he doesn't have 45 TC as opposed to Spoink, so that's the reason why he's not having like 170, because of the Citadel. But yeah, this is getting dangerous to close to this gold mine, but he is gonna be gathering from that in full, and then of course switching to the top as he's already going in there, but he needs to build also a mining camp. Come on, Magyar, come on. You need that in your army. In the meantime, of course, the push is very strong by Spoink right now. As it seems that it's gonna be time for him to get something better out of this game, as Magyar is being pushed back quite significantly at this point. And even though he's doing what he can to somehow hold on, it's not really gonna be working all that well, as another siege works are gonna be dropped. And much more importantly, this is already gonna be Spoink at 3 Migdols against only 1 Migdol from Magyar, and that's not an equal fight. That's not an equal fight at all. So let's see what's gonna be happening next. Plenty of gold spent. That's gonna be Migdol, yes. That's gonna be Migdol right next to gold, because he needs to protect it at all costs. And that's gonna be one of the last easy ones. Potentially there's gonna be still one at the bottom, which he, though, doesn't know about. He doesn't know about the one at the bottom. That's fairly unfortunate, because it could be helping him. He does have plenty of villagers in there. And it would be absolutely safe from Spoink. You can see that Spoink is absolutely oblivious to this part. He's just having a trade and market in there. Does he actually know about this gold mine? Yes, he does. So he does know that there's an opportunity for a red player, and because of the obelisk, he would be probably even seen it. So that's how important scouting is for him. Otherwise, he's not advancing into Mythical Age either. He's just basically duking it out in the Heroic Age. And that's also another huge difference between Vanilla and Titans, where because in Titans you would be just hurrying up into the Mythical Age basically at this point. Both players would be in there for maybe even like something closing on 10 minutes. But in Vanilla, the Classical Age and Heroic Age fightings take quite a bit longer. And that's what makes things quite a bit interesting, quite a bit more interesting overall, I'm thinking. So, a lot of siege towers coming up. That's not gonna be succeeding against all those villages, of course. But with the potential of Radiant by the camels, that might not be really true for much longer, as Magyar is gonna be in a pretty difficult situation, as those chariot archers were basically just a moment ago checking up on the gold, which is unfortunately still kinda hidden for Magyar. And the battle is gonna be of course heading this way, and those two Migdols could be changing the dynamic at least a bit. Plenty of idols in here for a bit for Magyar in here apparently, as there are some idle armies, and actually plenty of it, which is exactly noticed by Spoink in here, and he's gonna be sending it from the flank. Sending it in. This is gonna be just the Pierce armor still. And for red, for Magyar, apparently having no upgrades yet. But he's doing a pretty good job somehow trying to defend himself on the gold mine in here. Seems to be working for him quite alright. As he's gonna be even building the market in here. And that will be quite a good trade route. Can they go behind? Oh, there's actually no forest anymore. So they can be maybe going all the way here, behind the forest. Or otherwise in the front. He definitely would be preferring the one at the back. But yeah, with the TC position in here, it might be coming on both sides. And he will have to defend it at all costs if he wants some kind of extra resources. Because at this point, why he's switching into the market? Because he thinks that this is his last gold mine. He cannot have any kind of chance of going for the middle gold mine. Especially right now with Spoink coming in there. So he's probably hoping that might be a way to somehow win him the game. Okay, so how's it gonna be looking here? So the siege towers are gonna be becoming a problem, and the only way to deal with them are gonna be villages, which are probably gonna be singled out by Spoink quite significantly. You can see already right now the one group at the bottom dealing with that, and the elephant is gonna be second one trying to deal with the siege tower in here. Otherwise the heavy chariots could be even switching, and even just the elephant dealing with this. Oh, the poor zebra dying in there as well. As the chariots from both sides seem to be slightly a bit too much actually for Spoink to handle. But Spoink is quite inevitably pushing forward with another Migdol stronghold, and he's also kinda getting up there. He's right now at pop limit at 168, and since he is Having resources about 600 food, 400 gold, he seems to be aiming for the Mythical Age at this point. Or where did he spend all that many resources? Did he click? Yeah, he clicked plenty of right now elephants. Okay, so that does deplete your resources significantly. That was the reason that it went away. And well, still spending plenty in there. Could be a bit more efficient in here, and maybe at this point I would be really thinking about the Mythical Age for him. Apparently that's not really happening, as plenty of villagers from Magyar are right now adventuring forward outside of their base, as the gold at the bottom is gonna be taken by Spoink. As well, Magyar still unaware that some kind of nice bonus like that is there. Oh, he actually is aware. He has just now noticed, due to the villages in there, apparently, that he has some kind of gold that could be his, but apparently he's not gonna be allowed to do that all that much, as Spoink is all over him, with all the chariot archers and even some camels coming forward, so this is not gonna be safe for him anymore, and he's still not even on the fortified EC, so that's also population limit missing for him, and about a ton of idols here, still waiting next to the EC as well. But he's probably spending most of his time right now trying to micro his army, because that's what's gonna keeping him alive. And the battle is moving ever so slightly forward, and it's gonna be moving even more forward into the battlefield in here, because the Migros, they are really pushing the map control quite significantly, and it doesn't seem like that Magyar should be having enough push with the siege towers or any kind of elephants to actually put it down. And this is gonna be quite a big danger even to the trade, as the gold is still at half, so still plenty of game left for him. But the market needs to be, and the trade route needs to be going all the way back. It just cannot afford to go in the front, because once it does, it's gonna be coming right through the battlefield, and that's just not gonna be working for Magyar. Okay, so siege towers getting up in some reasonable numbers, and with the Scorpion Man as well, it might be pushing on the middle yet again. As Red is doing what he can to somehow protect the villages on the left side, still with the chariot archers in here, and it seems really that Spoink is having significant issues somehow pushing forward. I'm really curious if he's gonna be getting close by to Mythic. Yes, he is. You can see that right now his basically economical supremacy at this point is kicking in, and with the Mythical Age coming up with Thoth, that's gonna be quite deadly. That's gonna be basically meteors right in the middle, gonna be killing the economy. Maybe not the TC, but the economy is gonna be absolutely toast after that, and maybe he could be even using it on the gold, and it could be kind of similar effect at this point. Yeah, let's see if there's a kind of counterplay still to be left by Magyar, and we have even heard a dog being made. Yes. Oh yeah, so this is gonna be Cannabit, or rather Cabinet, and maybe a few siege boats will be, of course, better to get rid of the Migdol, the market, and of course the mining cap as well. But I'm really thinking that the game changer is gonna be the Mythical Age in here. It doesn't seem like that Magyar would be ready for anything like that at all. Let's check, he's still having the same economical upgrades for the last 15 minutes. He's having the same upgrades still. Whereas his opponent should be a bit better off, I'm thinking. Yeah, he's basically right now getting fully upgraded in there, more or less. As he's gonna be clicking also into the extra upgrades as soon as he is in the Mythical Age. But definitely Spoink is right now eating into Magyar, so Magyar is not having all that many easy options for him, as apparently he's gonna be using at least a few mercenaries, trying to somehow secure the gold mine for himself, and at least make it difficult for Spoink to do anything here. And let's see, as we are looking at the Eclipse being used by Magyar, which is gonna be basically counter god power to the meteors. So he's giving himself extra minute through using the god power, and that's really a hallmark of Magyar in this game. First, delaying the prosperity by the rain, right now delaying the meteors by the eclipse. So well played, and buying time in situations that might be otherwise seeming quite dire. Okay, so he's having some kind of chance of right now pushing forward, but the Migdol is just the problem. That's a huge problem. Even right now you can see the upgrade is gonna be coming up in there at 43% already, as the heavy chariots are already having bronze mail, or rather bronze shield, not mail, just normal copper mail, and bronze weapons in here. As for the opponents, he's probably not having anything at all, yes, because his economy is quite significantly strained. So pushing forward with even 2 siege towers, interestingly enough at this point, Magyar. And is it gonna be enough to pull down the Migdol? I don't think so, because the elephant is just now coming there in the correct timing, and with all the repairing it should be quite enough. I'm really kind of curious why Spoink isn't making siege boats to get rid of the Miguel. Kind of weird. But he probably hoped that a few cabinets are gonna be helping him with the battles overall. And it might not be such a bad idea, as we're gonna be waiting for the meteors even being cast actually on the gold. Oh yeah, I was really thinking that it might be basically the same as casting it into the main DC, as this is gonna be meaning that Magyar is out of gold, and that's why he's gonna be resigning. Okay, so that's the first game done, and coming for Spoink for the top expert, and I actually think that he might have been #1 on the ladders back then, in 2009, and this was basically Magyar kind of challenging him for that spot. So yeah, that was kind of desperate attempt at the very end by Magyar to win the game through getting some gold anywhere. But yeah, there wasn't, unfortunately for him, anything left. Even some sphinxes were being made. Interesting, would have been probably raiding the gold. But it just didn't make any kind of difference because the gold was gone. Champion chariots were there, and all the upgrades above Magyar, that was just a bit too much. Okay, let's check the post game. Or rather, I just want to see the map. I'm just gonna be looking at Magyar. Can see this is what he has actually seen from the whole map for the whole game. He hasn't even visited enemy's base in the whole game. That's how well it was actually controlled by Spoink. He just didn't allow him into his base at all for the whole 31 minutes. Well, that's one hell of a control. One hell of a control of the situation. Okay, so economy gonna be better for Spoink, of course, quite significantly, because of the extra TCs being built faster and overall having better economical upgrades. That's making kind of this difference. That's actually a very big difference. You can see 14,000 on the gold, 18 and 24,000 more resources for Spoink than for Magyar. That has to be showing somewhere, but still, even through that huge difference, it was a 30-minute game. That's how competently Magyar was actually playing. You can see unit skill better for Magyar, as he was a whole lot more efficient. So much more efficient than Spoink. Can you see this? Well, that's how hard it was for Spoink to actually push through. That's how hard it was for him. Heavy chariots, well yeah, that's kind of what happens in Eggy Wars. That does tend to be a popular unit. Civilian units, that's exactly the difference of the second TC and basically running away from Magyar in the economy. As in the military, it was all the time still kind of similar. So basically the only thing that won it for Spoink were the extra upgrades that he was getting through the better economy, not really sheer number of units. As long as the units were kind of the same numbers, Magyar was able to handle that. Nicely done. Okay, GG.